So let's here look at the sine law and see when we use it. It says the sine law is used to find angles and sides in non-right triangles. So remember that before we used SOHCAHTOA only for right triangles. So this one's going to be a little bit different. So here's the sine law rule, the way it's written, and notice that you have all the angles at the top. You have your A, your large B, and your large C, and then you have your sides, your small a, small b, and small c at the bottom. It can also be flipped, so the whole thing can be flipped, and you can have your sides at the top with your angles at the bottom. Remember that the sine goes with the large letter, which is the angle. Okay, so that's reminding you about this. Let's do an example and see how this works. Okay, so let's go ahead and find a side in a triangle. Here we have this triangle, and all they do is they give us this list of stuff. So we actually have to go ahead and draw it first. So it tells us to draw triangle ABC. So that's right here. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You just draw any random triangle, and you randomly just label it as A, B, and C. And that can go anywhere, it doesn't matter. But now here comes the important part. Our labeling has to be done correctly. So we're going to put angle A is 71, so that's going to come up here. And it says angle B is 63, so that's going to come up here. And it says side A is 75. So side A is opposite to our angle A. So 75 is going to go over here on this side. So let's see how that looks. Okay, so we've got all that information, we've got all those numbers there, we can double check, and then it says find side B. So side B is going to be across from letter B, that's this side here. So we might as well put our letters for the rest of our sides. So this is side B, and this is side C because it's opposite to big C. Okay, now we're ready to do some work. So we have to pick two of these ratios. We call these ratios, okay? Or fractions is another word, but we have to pick two of them. We never use all three. So we've got to think about which two are we going to pick. Well, here's the rules. You pick one that is given, and what I mean by that is when you look at your triangle, can you find a pair? And a pair is an opposite side and an angle where the numbers are given. So for example, let's look at C, side C and angle C. Are there numbers given there? No. Let's check the B's. B, there's a letter and a number, so both aren't given. The A's, oh, I have angle given and the side given. So I want the A pair. So I've decided on A. And then it says the second pair that you pick is the one that you need to find. So the question says find B. So I'm going to pick the B pair. Okay, so I'm not going to use the C pair. So let's see how that looks written out. And there we go. So always I follow this rule in the box. The one that's given is the A's, and the one that I need to find is the B's. So set it up like that, first and second, so it matches the rules in this box. And once you've done that, that's really the hard part. Now all we have to do is fill in the numbers. So we'll look at the triangle and we'll say, we'll find all these things. A, side A, 75. Sine angle A is 71. Side B, we don't know. Sine B, the angle B, is 63. So let's plug all those numbers in. Looks like this. And I think we know what to do from here. We're going to cross multiply. Okay, we're going to do this. So I'm going to start with B. So it's going to look like B times sine 71 equals 75 times sine 63. So looks like this. And yes, you know what to do. Here's the swing underneath. I want to get rid of this guy so that B is by itself. And this will swing over to the other side. So it looks like this. And you can go ahead and put all that in your calculator and see what it looks like. And I have a tip here. I always hit equal sign at the top and then divide by sine 71, just so it doesn't mess up. It depends how your calculator is. So 275 times sine 63 equals, and then divide by sine 71. And you may have to hit equals again, I'm not sure. But see if you can get, just check if you can get this answer 70.7. Now remember, it's one decimal place rounded because we're finding a side. So that means this side is 70.7. We just found it. And it seems like a reasonable answer because this side's 75, so it seems to be in the right range of numbers. Okay? Okay, let's do one more question just for good measure because that was a finding side. Now I want to do a finding angles. So let's just practice the same steps. So let's go ahead and draw our triangle. They want us to draw a triangle ABC, so I'm just going to use the same triangle. Let's label all our numbers. Side A is 63. There it is. Side C is 47. There it is. And angle C is 38. So there's that, angle C. Now it says find angle A. So we've got to remember which formula we're going to pick here. Let's label, the B came up there. So we want the pair that are given. Okay, let's look in our triangle here. The B's are not given. I don't have the matching B's. I don't have the matching A's. I do, however, have the matching C's, so that's good. I'm going to choose the C's. And then going back to the question, they said find the A's, so I'm going to use the A's. Okay, so I'm going to use the C's that are given and the A's I need to find. So I'm following this rule. Okay, here we go. Write down our two pairs. So in that order, the C's I'm given, the A's I need to find. Okay, let's plug in the numbers. So C is 47. Angle C is 38, so that'll go there. The side A is 63, and then angle A is what I gotta find, which is here. So it looks like this. Okay, let's cross multiply. So we're gonna multiply across like this. And we're going to start with our A, our variable that's always missing. So 47 times sine A is how we write it, is equal to 63 times sine 38. Let's go ahead and put it like that. And you guessed it, I want to get rid of this 47, get this away from my sine A. It's got to go to the other side, and I'm doing a swing underneath here. So it looks like this. Okay. And then now here's a little bit of a tricky part. You have to do a sine inverse, and you might not be able to do this big chunk in your calculator in brackets all at once. It may not work. You can try it, but if it doesn't work, do it this way. Turn this whole thing into a 4-digit decimal at least, and you get 0.8252 and so on. And now you can do sine inverse of that, and you should be able to get 56 degrees. Okay, so remember this is an angle, so we're going to round it to whole numbers. Okay, so that's all there is to using the sine law for finding both angles and sides. Remember that we use it only for non-right triangles. So notice that this triangle does not have a right angle in it. Okay.